Hello, everyone. We have Vanessa and Wanda. Hi, guys. Michelle and June. Sorry, I'm a few minutes late. I was just trying to get the free code for tonight. So if anyone has that playing on the background, my phone's updating. So I'm just going to share my screen here. There we go. Yeah. All right, can you guys see that? Oh, does someone have the webinar playing in the background?
It's probably me. I'm
awesome. No,
do both.
The code. I was
Okay.
talking. I'm like, I really want that code for tonight.
That's what I'm trying to do.
I'm listening to.
Who else is looking for this code? Who else said that?
That's me. It's Vanessa. I'm listening too. So I'm gonna just mute myself so you guys don't hear the background. Okay.
Okay, mute yourself and then type it in the comments box.
I will.
Yeah, my phone's updating, or I would have put it on the background.
I'll just turn that off.
Yeah, that's so funny. Okay, let's get going here. So sorry. Thank you for your patience. I am just gonna do my slide view here. I know everyone's been having a little bit of trouble with that. Okay, slideshow. Play from start. There. Does everyone see that? Okay, so today I'm just gonna block this off here so I can actually see my screen. There we go. Welcome to, it says week 4, but it's actually class 4. Normally we do this within 4 weeks, but because there's going to be a push week coming up, we wanted to get them done and over with. And honestly, usually by 4 weeks, things happen and people kind of lose interest. So it was Alex's idea to do it like this, and I think it's a great idea. Just get them done and in a more efficient way. So tonight we're going to be talking about events and conversion. So to start off, I have 2 upcoming events that I want you guys to mark in your calendar. The first one is this Saturday. I'm going to be there. I'm actually giving my business testimonial, so I'm excited for that. Janie asked me to share. I only have 60 seconds, so it'll be short. And then, of course, Celebration. Tony Robbins is going to be there. I know there's still tickets left, and was happy that some of us are starting to book our flights. Amazing deal. So whatever you can do to make this event, make that your priority, because your business will grow. They say 30%. The people that attend earn 30% more than people that don't attend those big events. So just a heads up on that. So the first thing we're going to talk about is skill number 7. So if you guys notice, the skills in these slide sets line up with Eric Worre's book, GoPro. How many have read that book? Probably lots of you. If you haven't, I highly recommend it. But really what we've done, with Susan has done, is taught each week has 2 of the skills and talks about how they relate to Isagenix. So you can go back and then dig in deeper in Eric's book, GoPro, and that's him. And Susan, that was an event in North York. I know many of us were there. And I think it was last year where we had a full day training from Eric Worre, and Susan hosted that. So let's talk about the different events. And my internet connection. Can you guys hear me okay? It's saying it's unstable. We have a Wi-Fi extender, so if there's problems, just let me know. Or if I tend to freeze up, I can go into the kitchen. I'm in my office. So what we talk about in Isagenix is the gradient of events. You're going to find you're going to have a lot more luck getting someone to Celebration if they've already been to a team meeting, a Super Saturday, an Isagenix University, and that leads up, then boom, just getting them to Celebration or New Year's kickoff, right? So really the people that make the most money in Isagenix are the best promoters of events, because that's where Isagenix gets inside of you and you build your belief. You build your belief in the company, but you also build your belief in yourself. Because I remember sitting in a seat and saying, you know what, if that person can do this, then surely I can do it too. So it builds belief in yourself, because you see people just like us, or even with people with less skills than you, that are making a lot of money, right? So, but also you can learn more about the products and just be in the Isagenix community. I always feel like when I go away from the events, I feel like I am on fire. And then you got to kind of go back again and get recharged and plugged in, just kind of like a curling iron. So let's talk about, the first event you want to get someone to is a 3-way call. So that way they can just meet someone within your team. So when that's kind of the third party validation, it's also the fastest way to build your business. So when I think of the people that have come into our team, Brooke being one of them, the people that do the most 3-way calls really earn the most money the fastest, because when you get started, you don't really know anything except that you feel really good. Right? So this is a way we can earn while we learn. And I might be more confident in closing someone on a higher pack or a pack at all than someone brand new. So that's how you can learn the business. The power of 3-way calls too is if they've already connected with, myself, anyone that goes to the events, they're more likely to feel a part of the team and community and want to go to the event. And I do have a request. I think Kelly sent me a request for a 3-way call. Yes, I'm going to get back to you on that, but I just updated my phone and I didn't know it would take so long. So I'm going to get right back to you on that. I wanted to acknowledge you for using so many 3-way calls, Kelly. So conference calls. So every Monday night, we have the Team Success conference calls. That's a great way to learn information, get your new people plugged in to learn as well. Susan does an awesome job of having different people into those calls. And they're posted often in our group. You can also get in her email, and then they're sent exactly questions about how to do that. You just go to Team Success, isateamsuccess.com, and you can get on her newsletters, because we are a part of her team and can really benefit from a lot of her material. So I also like to use those calls too when I'm dripping on someone or there's someone newer in the team and say, hey, check out this. I immediately thought you might be interested in it. So those calls are great for that, as well as when new people come in, I always tell them, make your car a university on wheels. So we spend a lot of time in the car, driving back and forth to work if you're working full time, or, running kids around if you have children that are in sports and activity. You can download all those onto your phone and actually be listening to those calls and learning. And then eventually everything will just come very easily to you because you've heard the information. It's kind of ingrained. It also keeps you pumped up too. So another event I wanted to highlight is the Wednesday night Zoom meeting, which lots of us were on. So thank you for taking a break and coming here. I know that somehow we'll get the code for the free enrollment, but those are great because it's a very duplicatable way to build your business. There's Isagenix millionaires, top income earners that are presenting, the products, and, you share, they share, and a tad about, how they've created a success income-wise. So that's a great tool that we can now leverage. And, every Wednesday morning, people are like, I got so many messages today. How do you know about those calls? I just go check Edward Carlin's Facebook page, and they're always posted on there. And then I repost it for you. And he's one of our Canadian specialists. So that's the only how I know about them. And then they repost them in our group. And then you can invite people to those that have shared interests and then connect with them immediately after and do like the close or a 3-way call. So in-homes are, still a very effective way to build your business. When I started, I did 3 in-homes. I did an in-home with all my mommy friends from my mom's group. I did an in-home with the church ladies that I was attending at the time. And then I did it with my neighborhood mama friends. And that really launched my business. I think from those 3 in-homes, I enrolled about 10 people. So that was a good start for me when I said, hey, yes, I want to build this as an extra stream of income. So those are still it's hard, when people are so spread out, but we can teach you, we can zoom in. There's a very duplicatable way of doing that. So if you are interested in the extra income, or you have people wanting to get their products paid for, I still highly, highly recommend In-Homes, because it's, first of all, a way to let people know that you're doing what you're doing, because you're reaching out, aiming to get people there. But it's also a great way that people can, touch and taste and feel the products and get all their questions answered by an expert that you have either zoomed in or they're present. And there's usually a very high sign-up rate from In-Homes. So we would love to help you set one of those up as well. Super Saturdays, we just posted about that. I've committed, I hope I have nothing that interferes, but I've been huge on events ever since I started the business, going to events, meeting team at events, taking people to events, and I really believe that's a lot of my success in the business. Last year, the events in Toronto actually kind of weren't the greatest, so I fell out of that, and I am committed this year to attending every single Super Saturday. So as long as there's not like a family wedding or something that comes up, I will be there and be able to meet you at those events. And also when I have my posture that I'm going and I'm not waiting kind of the last minute, I'm more likely to invite people and have more guests in the room. So those are great. And this Saturday, I don't even know how many people I'm going to have there, but I feel like we have a puppy and a lot of things are all craziness. My husband's very busy in our other business. So this Saturday, they say, either you need the event or the event needs you. I can honestly say I need this event. I need to go and get refocused and repumped up this week. So even if you've been doing this business for 6 years, you still do need those events. And I'm grateful that I can contribute back at this event as well, which is a great feeling. So Isagenix University, University in Action, those are also very good events. University in Action, I think it's September 10th. If you want to mark your calendar, is coming up, and where you're actually going to work on your belief and work on what's holding you back from building this business. So that's one of the most loved events, I would actually have to say, and that's right here in Toronto. And then we have New Year's kickoff. I'm not sure of the exact date. I'm not sure if it's posted yet, but it's going to be in Arizona this year. So I'm excited about that event. New Year's kickoff is one of my favorite events, but also we can go and then go ahead and tour the head office, the new head office. And then you all know about Celebration, because we've been talking about that forever. And we're so blessed to be trained by Tony Robbins. And I think I got my flight and my hotel, sharing my room, excuse me, with one other person, and it was under $800. So it's very affordable to go. And that's a business write-off as well. All right, let's keep going here. And if you guys have questions, feel free to stop me at any time, because I know that I do talk very fast. I was on a 3-way call, which actually was going on way past 15 minutes, but the lady did point out that I talk very quickly. So feel free, if you have questions or want me to talk a little deeper on something, just raise your hand, unmute yourself, and I'm very happy to make this interactive. So millionaire tip, Eric Worre says that we will make about $1,000 per year for every person that we have at the major event. So in Isagenix case, that Celebration, I am happy to report that Isagenix compensation plan is far superior to most compensation plans out there. And we have a lot of very amazing product users. So I do make more than $2,000 per year for everyone that attends Celebration. That's his overall benchmark in network marketing. He says, for every person that you have that attends a major event, you'll make about $1,000 per year off that person. But I have found that my numbers in Isagenix are actually higher than that, but I do have a fairly balanced team as well. So that's just a good benchmark. So start inviting now. It's not too late. A lot of people tend to be last minute decision makers when it comes to these things. We just want to make sure that we can all get them all tickets, right? So get super organized about events, and I'm going to help you in this webinar get super organized about events. So go to the Isagenix events webpage, so isagenixevents.com. We have a website seriously for everything, and mark down all the events in your area. So say you have a team member in say Ottawa, you can look at the events there, or BC, you can look at those events there and then start inviting people there. And then also you can look in your downline registration. So Sandra talked a little bit about tracking your numbers. That's also a number that I track, how many people are attending the major events, and I want to see it increase from year to year, and also from week to week. So what you focus on expands. This is not a new thought. Isagenix says this all the time. It's a lot about, mindset. If you're taking the Growth U courses or the Healthy Mind and Body, but I'm reading the Millionaire Mind, and T. Harv Eker says that, and I'm sure whatever personal development guy came before him says that too. So if we focus on events and getting people to events and keeping them top of mind, we'll have more people attend events, right? So, and you don't know the amount of people, the millionaires on stage, where it said their major shift came or their major activity came after they attended like a New Year's kickoff, a University in Action. For me, my first major event was an Isagenix University, and that's when I left on fire. I did my 3 in-homes. I did, I joined the Mompreneur group here in Milton. I did crazy stuff when I got started, like Elizabeth and I did cold calls. We went door to door. So you name it, I did it, because my why certainly was that big. And I was consistent with the events. So I always had my fire going. So what you want to do is, make sure you're attending the events, because if you're not attending the events, you cannot expect your team to do something that you're not doing. So I think we kind of covered the information there. So went and I grabbed for you guys the team success. If you want to do a screenshot of this is for Toronto, and I know Toronto is not convenient for everyone who's listening to the replay or on this webinar, but you can really plan your calendar and plan your schedule if you work, and plan your life around these events, so that unless there's a wedding or you're having a baby, like those are things that you cannot control, the things that you can control, so that you can be at these events and start inviting people to these events. So I would just do a little Command Shift 4, and this is what I do on these things all the time, and take a screenshot of this, and then go ahead after. It'll land on your desktop, and you can write them all in your agenda or your iCalendar. So these are not written in stone, but it's a pretty good idea. And I know that you guys already that are going have your tickets for this Saturday, and I'm excited to see you there. So that's a little bit about events. We know that events build our business, and you can, look at some of Eric Worre's material on that, look at his book about events, and Isagenix really has the best world-class events. So everyone's happy and beautiful at these events as well, and the energy is always amazing. So the last skill, since we are on the last day of the Business 101 training, is conversion. So what we want to do in Isagenix, we know that the retention rate is so much higher if people are getting rebates. At Celebration last year, we did do a training live with Eric Worre, and he said, if people even make $7, I don't know how he even got that number, but he said if someone even makes $7, their retention rate goes up by 90%. Just the fact that they've made anything from the company. So how do we make money in Isagenix? We have people share. Right? But we know that people are super, super duper busy. So we have to tell them what to do. We can't just kind of be like, okay, here's your product. And then like cross our fingers and hope that, someone notices. We want to be leaders and lead them into the correct way of sharing. So we can do this by letting saying to them, and I love this wording, it's Susan's wording, I'm obligated to show you this. So you're obligated to show them the you share, they share information on how they can get their product rebates and the products paid for. And even if they choose to get that first manager bonus, which is 277 Canadian, and $250 US, just in case Errol's on the phone. We don't want to not talk about the US prices. So getting them to do a proper launch, and Alex did an awesome job yesterday, didn't she, about asking the magic question. I think really in Isagenix, the more we can drip on people, kind of like a commercial is replayed and replayed and replayed. And finally, once we've seen that commercial 4 to 6 times, often we'll make a buying decision. So, just planting that seed, although they want the product, most people, 80% of people just want the products in Isagenix, letting them know about the opportunity to get Isagenix for free, or perhaps building a residual income really is a duty, right? So you want to give them, make sure that you set them up, that they know what is available. Because I've heard of people saying, you know what, I didn't know, like you make a 6-figure income in Isagenix. I didn't even know, no one ever told me about how to do that or what to do. So I love what Lisa DeMeo says, because I'm always like, should you lead with the product? Should you lead with the business? Like, what should we be doing? Should we just always lead with the business? But when you are at an event and they say, all the 6- and 7-figure income earners stand up in the room, and then how many join for the product? Most people are still standing, right? And how many people join for the business? It's a very small number. So we don't want to discredit one or the other. And that, how she said that, the product is the business and the business is the product, is huge. We need to offer people both and let them decide, right? So I find when people, it's great to talk in terms of rebates, because that's how the language that people understand. So you can open up to them and say, what would you do if you had an extra $500 a week for as well? And then just opening up people's brains to the possibility of even earning extra income. So to create consultants, what you want to do is invite them. And you know what, Alex and I have been working on another document as well, which I emailed to her today, the final document, just to have her read over. We met last Wednesday about how, a very duplicatable way and scripts that our team can use to make it super duper easy for people. So you want to ask people to invite their support team. So 3 to 4 people. Who do you know that you want to do this with you? We actually said 10 in the document, because we know that if 10 people look at the information, 2 will join at some point. So that's you share, right? And then tell them how to post in the Facebook group. What I do in my welcome email, I tell them exactly what to post on their Facebook page, which is in that document, which we should have out probably tomorrow. And also, when people are new, they don't know what to say or what to do. You can actually physically call, if they're open to it, people with them. And then I always try to book lunch parties, because it works so well for me and it works so well for many people. 2 weeks into their plans, okay, let's get some of your girlfriends together. And I think Carrie did an amazing launch party when she first got started. I'm not sure if she's on the call. Also, Michelle is great at getting people together for launch parties, and we can, if you decide you want to do one, we can actually, help you and share what's worked and what hasn't, and just let them know if they cleanse with 2 friends. Depends how, if they start the way you start. So say they start on a value pack. Give them the actual dollar amount that they could be receiving in rebates, right? So value pack is $80 times 2, and work out the math with them and show them how they can actually get their products paid for. I love this. So Jim Rohn is a great trainer, personal development. He says, if you want to make $1 million a year, you have to have $1 million aptitude. And I see that when people come into Isagenix, we'll see what happens. They're just kind of dipping your big toe in the water. You have to have an attitude that, yes, this is going to work. Yes, this is what I'm doing, because no one wants to be your experiment, right? I like that wording, because if you have hesitations and you're just kind of doing it like, we'll see, I'm going to give it a try, chances are you're not going to be extremely successful. People want to follow leaders and follow people that know where they're going. And if you don't feel like you don't have the skills, that's where three-way calls come in. That's where you can attach them to the leaders in our team till you get to the events and get yourself up to speed in everything. So you want to just have that, $1 million attitude. And sometimes I don't have it, like even to this day, but it means me reading books. It means me getting to events still, so that I can continue to grow in that. So the power of a cycle, I love this. These are great numbers. If you want to take a screenshot of this, it might take you a while to copy it down if you're taking notes. A consultant cycling 1 time a week has a 95% retention rate. So this is huge. So a lot of times we have people come in, we have people go, and I was talking to Jimmy Smith once in the beginning because I was so bold. I was just figuring out everything. I just went and talked to him, and he had said, you know what, Angie, I think he looked in my back office even. He said, your back office looks like, Lenny Evans. It looks like every single one of the millionaires. Customers, some of them will stick with you, but a lot of them will come and go. But if they're getting their products discounted or for free, I can guarantee you they're not going to go anywhere, because who doesn't like free food? Right? So make that your goal. So many of us are looking for the next big income earner, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the fact is that most people are going to be people that want to use their products, and let's help them get their products paid for, and then it can develop more into that. So make that your goal, helping everyone that comes in, lead them into the assumption that this is how we do it. So I use this wording when I talk to people. I'm like, yes, well, we're going to do this because this is how we do it in our team. And if you're leading, people are going to follow. Don't expect the other person to lead because they have no idea. You're the professional here. So these are cool numbers too. If you help 10 people cycle 1 time a week, so 5 on your left and 5 on your right, you cycle 10 times per week, and that's a 1 star. And then if you help 10 people cycle 2 times a week, which is totally doable, 5 on your left, 5 on your right, you're cycling 20 times per week. That's a 2 star, and that's the full-time income, right? So sometimes it's like, oh my goodness, how do they do this? It's hard, it's so big. But could you say, why is it so easy to help 10 people cycle 2 times a week, right? And then make that your mission. Make that your goal, as long as they're matching energy with you, and you can actually replace a full-time income. If you want to cycle 40 times per week, so that is a 6-figure income, which a lot of people come into Isagenix, and that is your goal, because that is, where you are making, matching your current income or even making more. 6-figure income is more than I was making as a full-time overworked marketing manager. So you want to help 10 people in your team cycle 4 times a week, 5 on your left and 5 on your right. And sometimes don't get discouraged, because it does take time. I think the danger of events is you go to events and you see people on stage and they've accomplished all this stuff in like 2 months. And that usually those people have, come from other companies, or they come from, they have very large circle of influences where they just kind of bring people along with them. So I didn't have that. And I was kind of like a slow and steady person, but I still got there, and I made a lot of growth and journey along the way. So don't get discouraged. Just be like, okay, it's coming. They have other skills, and I'm working on those skills as well. So if you want to max out your center, which is over $750,000 a year, and there's lots of Canadians that have done this, guys, you are looking at developing 9 people that have created a 3-star golden circle. So that have a 6-figure income with Isagenix. So if you can help, I've heard a lot of women in Isagenix say, I'm looking for like 10 women. So say they're a woman, nothing against men. Or they could say 10 couples or 10 people I'm looking to help, 9 people, create a 6-figure income working part-time. So you can look for those people, you can attract those people, and then when you do that, you max out your center, and that's really freedom beach money. When you're making $750,000 a year in network marketing, you can retire. Probably you and your spouse, pay for all your kids' education, put them on horseback riding, buy them a horse, whatever your dream is. I know Emily's moved to Mexico for a year. If you're maxed at a center, there's nothing you cannot do, really. So a tip that I added in here: when people hit their first cycle, congratulate them and let them know the value of each cycle. So say someone cycles one time and say, hey, congratulations on your first cycle. Let's continue. If you continue at this rate, you will make, I think it's like over 2,000. I have it written down a year. And yeah, just a little note that the things could fluctuate depending on the value of a cycle. I don't know, little disclaimer there, but everything's pretty up to par, not changed a lot. They just keep adding money to the Isagenix compensation plan since I've been around. So what's next? So we did complete this Business 101 training. I hope you found it helpful. I am looking for feedback. I was chatting with Carrie today, and she said, yes, it's very helpful. So if there's anything that you feel like, you know, some details missing, something that you would like to see, or as you're bringing new people in that you would add to that, please send us a message so that we can, you know, add new things in. We do want to always be mindful of your time and your evenings as well, so that we can help you by refining things for you. So I just wanted to let you know that there will be a push week on June 12th because there's a new seasonal shake coming up. So we'll be doing some team strategies, some scripting around that, and some extra calls around that. So once we get that all scheduled and work together, we'll be letting you know about those details with those things, and lots of things going on before celebration. So that's it for now. Reach out to me if you have questions, if you have suggestions, and what we are, you know, working on as a team is providing more scripting, because that's what we keep hearing. Like, what should I say? So there is a lot of information in Isagenix, and it's almost overwhelming. So what we want to do as a team is really try to hone it in and just focus on the basics. So say you have a new person starting, that's what Alex and I were working on. They want to get their products paid for. What are the exact steps do you guys do? So we're documenting that so that you can go into our Facebook group, just pull that and kind of use it as a checklist and marker. So if you have any suggestions or any questions how that we can make it easier for you, because I've been around for a while, so sometimes I don't know what I know, and I'm here to answer your questions anytime. So does anyone have any feedback now or questions that you're open to sharing? Just make sure you unmute yourself if you're muted. I'm just looking. Oh, there's Carrie. And I see Alex. Who is coming to the event on Saturday? Carrie's coming. Is Alex coming? I think she's typing. All right, we'll see you guys there. And we'll keep you posted on more webinars that are coming up. Sound good? All right, thank you. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you.